time. I'm gonna burn this place to the ground.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. This is going to be my new Marvel Falcon and Winter Soldier video for the viral teaser they just released. They also had a Disney investor meeting where they aired a full-blown new Falcon and Winter Soldier trailer with all new footage. I'll explain that too. There's a whole bunch of Easter eggs, so if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the Marvel videos. There's a bunch of really big stuff coming up. So we'll just break this down top 5 style, starting with number 5, Happy Birthday, Winter Soldier. So obviously this is them having a little bit of fun, teasing the series, but in this clip, Winter Soldier is celebrating his 107th birthday. I saw a lot of you confused about the timeline on this. Why is he 107 years old instead of some other age? What is the date on this filter? Read March 10th, 2020 instead of 2023. I think that's mostly just a joke, just because the person who was recording this didn't have a way to change the actual date. You have to remember that Avengers Endgame ended in the spring of 2023, so technically all this is happening years in the future. Winter Soldier was born as Bucky March 10th, 1917. So the Falcon and Winter Soldier clip that we're watching here of him getting ready to plow through this cake is taking place in 2024, the year after Avengers Endgame, which is why they're celebrating his 107th birthday. The clip is taking place in a restaurant in Prague, Czech Republic, because that's where they were filming the last of their episodes recently. They're getting ready to wrap on the series. The connection you'll remember to Spider-Man Far From Home is that that's where Spider-Man fought his battle with Mysterio's big fire elemental at the carnival when he got his Night Monkey stealth suit. The reason why he's wearing a special glove there is just because he wears the glove over his special vibranium arm, just so he doesn't freak people out. This is what he looks like in his full battle costume. He's got a couple costume changes through the series, and they will be hyping up all the special abilities that his arm has. They haven't talked about it recently, but a little while ago they were talking about how his arm has all these secret functions that Shuri built into it. Because it's vibranium technology, of course it does a lot of really cool secret stuff. So they'll be using the Falcon and Winter Soldier episodes to show us a lot of those cool things, but that's just one of the cool details about the series. But number 4, the brand new footage that they showed off at the Disney investor meeting starts like an extended trailer. It's Bucky paying a visit to Baron Zemo in that state-of-the-art prison that they locked him up in during Captain America Civil War. Baron Zemo tries to reactivate his Winter Soldier programming again, like the language that he got from the Red Book, only now it doesn't work because Shuri in Black Panther deprogrammed him before Avengers Infinity War. The reason why Winter Soldier says he's come to see Baron Zemo, though, is because someone has recreated the Super Soldier Serum. Obviously, we're probably talking about Thunderbolt Ross here because we know that he has a version of the Super Soldier Serum that he used during Incredible Hulk.
You're aware that we've got an infantry weapons development program. Well, in WW2, they initiated a sub-program for biotech force enhancement.
Yeah, Super Soldier.
Yes. An oversimplification, but yes. And I dusted it off. Got him doing serious work again, bold work.
Banner's work was very early phase.
He thought he was working on radiation resistance. I would never have told him what the project really was.
Then there's a longer version of this trailer scene of the rally where they're minting the new version of the John Walker US Agent Captain America. They're getting ready to introduce him. You only see him off screen holding the shield in his costume. But this is the government getting ready to announce him publicly in this big rally. Then there was a montage of a bunch of big action scenes with Baron Zemo fighting in his comic book costume with the iconic purple mask. Then they follow up with a different scene of Winter Soldier meeting Falcon, discussing that they're not really bros. They were just friends of friends. They knew Captain America collectively, so they're just two dudes that used to know Captain America. Obviously, by the end of the series, they'll probably become fast friends, but you've probably seen a lot of the funny clips and teasers that they posted to social where they're trash-talking each other. That's just to give you an idea for the tone of the series when things pick up.
You couldn't have done that earlier?
I hate you.
The timeline of Falcon and Winter Soldier is that it picks up relatively soon after Avengers Endgame, but also after the events of Spider-Man Far From Home. Spider-Man Far From Home is still like the first thing that happens a couple months after Avengers Endgame. There is a logic to the order of all the Disney Plus Avengers series, the ones that they've announced so far. So like Falcon and Winter Soldier is the first one to be released this summer in August after Comic-Con. because all the stuff that happens during the episodes happened before the story in WandaVision episode 1 picks up. So a lot of the stuff that they do during Falcon and Winter Soldier will set the stage for what's happening in the other Disney Plus series, because they're all meant to be connected, but they're also all connected with the movies too. Of course, I'll cover all those Easter eggs and all those connections when they start releasing more trailers, more footage, and the actual episodes. Number 3, most of you know that Baron Zemo is the main villain of this. Most of the stuff that's happening during Falcon and Winter Soldier is in service of establishing the MCU Thunderbolts, and that's going to spread into the MCU movies through Thunderbolt Ross and Baron Zemo. I know everyone just watched the Black Widow trailer, watching him copy all of Black Panther's and the other Avengers moves, and they're hoping the Taskmaster will join the Thunderbolts in the future. But of course, as you would expect, Baron Zemo escapes prison. All the craziness of Avengers Endgame and the blip back sets that off the same way that they used the ending of Avengers Endgame to explain why Mysterio was doing his Iron Man plot during Spider-Man Far From Home. No big surprise that they're going to be using the events of Avengers Endgame to inform the events of the next several big MCU movies. Number 2, the other big part of Falcon and Winter Soldier episodes are addressing what happens with the SHIELD in Captain America's legacy. As you've all seen from that Avengers Endgame ending scene, Cap wanted Falcon to take it for a spin. Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 1 is supposed to pick up a while after Avengers Endgame with a big attack from Baron Zemo in the same style as his attack during Captain America Civil War. During that event, it's supposed to be revealed that Thunderbolt Ross and the government have selected U.S. Agent John Walker as their new hardcore, trigger-happy version of Captain America that they can control. Falcon and Winter Soldier obviously have history with Baron Zemo, which is where they get involved trying to stop his global terror plot. And while that's happening, Falcon has this big arc of not wanting to be the new Captain America, doubting himself, and as they're chasing Baron Zemo around the world, they learn the true history of the Super Soldier program and meet a couple other participants. They cast Carl Lumbly. Most people believe that he's playing Isaiah Bradley from the comics. He's the next person that the military tried to turn into a super soldier right after Captain America during World War II. The version of the serum that they tested on him wasn't quite as potent as Captain America's super soldier serum, but remember that Thunderbolt Ross scene from Incredible Hulk where he's talking about the history of the super soldier program and the Weapon X program? MCU Isaiah Bradley would just be part of that program. So as they learn about the history of the Super Soldier program, Falcon slowly comes around on the idea of wearing the mantle of Captain America. In number 1, the Falcon and Winter Soldier episodes are supposed to start releasing by late August. New episodes always release on Disney Plus on Fridays. They also just confirmed that the Loki series would be starting to release around this time next March. They've already confirmed Loki and the Time Variance Authority. I've done a couple videos about that, so I'll link my Loki trailer video in the description. But they also confirmed that they're doing the Enchantress, time travel villains, multiverse villains, because that's just who the Time Variance Authority always goes after. Owen Wilson is part of the series. They didn't say who he's playing though, and now they just confirmed Richard E. Grant will be playing a big villain. Everyone seems to think that he's going to be playing MCU Kang the Conqueror because you don't cast Richard E. Grant, who plays iconic huge villains in movies, to be a throwaway villain, and all the big characters from each of the Disney Plus series are supposed to cross over into the movies. But we'll get more details about that soon, so I'll do more videos on the other Disney Plus series as they release new footage and new details. Marvel's also getting ready to confirm Sam Raimi as the director of Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness. We all know that he's going to direct the movie, but officially Marvel hasn't said anything about it because they're deep in pre-production. They start filming Doctor Strange 2 in May, so just expect them to start talking about Doctor Strange 2 next month. As you probably heard, Doctor Strange 2 is going to be the most important Marvel movie next to the Eternals for setting up the next 10 years of the MCU. The reason why the Eternals is a really big deal, even though those characters are kind of weird and you may not have seen them before or may not have read those Jack Kirby comics, is because the Eternals provide the basis for X-Men inside the MCU. I know you're all expecting to see some X-Men stuff happening during WandaVision 2. Yes, that will set up mutants, but remember, WandaVision is coming out after the Eternals, which is why the Eternals is the first big thing that's going to be setting up MCU X-Men. I'll do Easter eggs for all of that stuff when they start releasing Eternals trailers. That'll probably start in May when we get the Black Widow movie. Congratulations, Griffin Sewell, you're the giveaway winner from my last big Marvel video, the movie tickets. Please email me on the About page of my channel so I can get your contact details. Everyone click here for my new Thor 4 Christian Bale video, and click here for Marvel's big announcement about what's going on with the Hulk during Marvel Phase 4 and Marvel Phase 5. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.